Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Star Wars Battlefront Part 6. This time around, we're going to Renvar, supposedly Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and their Obi-Wan, C-3PO, and R2 are going to the Death Star. Well, they think they're going to Alderaan, but actually they're going to the Death Star. When they think they're doing all that and returning the plans to the Empire, meanwhile the Empire is doing this. At Renvar. Apparently the rebels are attacking Renvar, so we have to go and defend Renvar from these rebels. So it's just the same old stuff. We have the advantage here. We have more troops than them, but they could still, in theory, take over us or overpower us. It looks very barren and deserted here. Then we have to go and take a bunch of neutral, empty, free, open command posts, which I think there's one up there. It's hard to jump over this weird building structures. This is the second time I've been to Renvar in this game. If you recall, we were at Renvar during the Clone Wars, but now we come back here for something else. Obviously, it's a different part of Renvar. This planet, this bizarre planet that we never see. So it's very icy, but we never actually see this planet in any of the movies. It's never one of the already says one of the great planets. And look at that. The rebels, knowing our luck, the rebels are already taken over a few command posts. They're probably going to take over more before I get a chance to find them and take them down, take them over. You can see which ones are being attacked and where all the enemies are and everything on the radar back there. I spend a lot of time paying attention to that radar and my crosshair. As I said before, the crosshair always knows what's best. It always turns red whenever there's enemies around. So when in doubt, just listen to your crosshair. So yes, you see there's a lot of rebels here. It's still rich in rebels that we have to go and kill off. We're probably all going to get killed off before I have a chance to take over the last command post, as per usual. And so, the Empire is overall, we're all very, aggravated over the plans getting stolen, and over what they're probably going to do with the plans. So we really want to, take out as many rebels as we can, really want to get, revenge on them or something like that. We really hate these rebels so much that we want to, they don't deserve to exist, because anyone that opposes the Empire doesn't deserve to exist, right? At least that's our philosophy. Is why I think we go and blow up plants. Why I think we blew up Alderaan. Why do you think we blew up whatever plants we're going to blow up? Why do you think we do stuff like that? Obviously, because we're, the Empire. We can do whatever the hell we want. We rule the galaxy. Those are the benefits of ruling the galaxy. I'm sure we have a good dental plan as well, too. But then again, I don't think the Empire takes very good care of their troops. Their troops are disposable. They're pretty much disposable people. They're expendable. They lose them all the time. To them, that's not a major loss. They even kill their own people sometimes, just for the heck of it. That's how their Empire is. So, I doubt they would move. It doesn't make sense they give their people, unless it's like an important person, like that Grand Moff Tarkin. He probably gives a good dental plan as well, too. Probably better than the dental plan he had wherever he came from. I wonder what dental plans are like in Star Wars anyway. What kind of healthcare plans and stuff like that they have. I wonder how healthcare compares to real life. It's probably better than the healthcare in real life. Because where I live, I have to say, healthcare is a lot like Windows 95. It's free, but it sucks. That's exactly what healthcare is like, just like Windows 95. A lot of people actually still use Windows 95, oddly enough, for real work, for actual, they actually still use actual, because Windows 95 is an old version of Windows. It's actually less prone to attacks, less prone to hackers and things like that target newer versions of Windows. And some people, it's actually more secure in a lot of ways than the newer version of Windows. Oddly enough, seems kind of odd, but it is. Yeah, it's actually not an uncommon thing. A lot of the computers in Congress actually run Windows 95. There was a frickin' airport in France in 2015 that ran Windows 3.1. So those old versions of Windows are actually worth a lot more than people realize. Heck, there's people in my school server area, in the school server district, that actually still use Windows NT 4.0. And then there's people who still use that in 2016 to power their servers. If you have an important, powerful server, you can't take it offline. You have to stay up and running at all times. I think Windows Server 2003 and other versions of Windows Server ask you for a reason to shut them down whenever you want to shut them down. I've used servers before, I've used Windows servers before, I've also used them for fun stuff. I actually thought about making a video. Can you use Windows Server 2003 as a gaming computer? In theory, you can, but it's not intended for that at all. And I've only been able to run it on a virtual machine. This means I can install an actual computer, but I don't have an actual computer to install Windows Server 2003, but I might do that eventually in the future if I get any more computers. I plan on maybe buying some more computers and getting older computers I can install stuff onto, and then trying that out. I doubt my Raspberry Pi can run Windows Server 2003. And so, as you can see here, we're obviously winning by the large margin. I always seem to win by large margins. I have like a winning streak. I'm like a master at this game. Or maybe I'm not. I actually played against this game with someone in real life, and he kicked my ass at this game. So I don't know, maybe I'm not really a master at all. It's just the AI in this game is stupid as hell. They're still really stupid. We're this far into the Star Wars saga now, and I still haven't learned yet. This game kind of roughly tells the story of the Star Wars saga. Because, Star Wars is like, the greatest sagas there was, and this is pretty much where the Star Wars saga should have been before Disney decided to expand on it, which, I don't know, if you don't like how Disney expanded on the Star Wars saga. And then there's Battlefront 2, which has like more depth to the story. It's a different story, but it's like the same story, but it has more depth to it. It actually has more originality to it, which is expected. Because gaming sequels, people like game sequels, they usually learn from mistakes they made the first time around. That's why game sequels are usually better than their originals. So that's definitely the case with Star Wars Battlefront 2. This game is really good. The Star Wars Battlefront 2 is substantially better. Just like the Spyro game. Spyro 1 was really good, but the Spyro 2 is substantially better. Even the third one was better too. And just a while ago, just yesterday, I actually finally saw the Japanese version of Spyro the Dragon looks like. It's just like the North American version, only the camera angle is different. Yeah, and in the game, it controls differently too, so the way the camera's oriented. That's why Spyro wasn't really that big in Japan. It's quite a shame. They left it as is. Spyro probably would have been really big in Japan. He could have been Japan's like an icon, a cultural icon in Japan. But Spyro's not Japanese, so I don't know. Japan culture, Japanese culture tends to be very, closed to itself. They're really open to as many like outside influences or outside sources as North American culture is. But then again, I don't know. Japan doesn't seem to change as much as North America does, or Australia, or places like that. And of course, I won the Public Enemy title once again. You can see that battle is definitely in the bag for me again. So now, I think for this time around, we're going to Yavin 4. We're going to find the rebel base there on Yavin 4. Because that's where the rebels are hiding, and that's where we want to attack. We want to get rid of them rebels at their home world of Yavin 4. Yavin 4 is one of the more interesting places in Star Wars. It's a lush green planet that apparently has a lot of jungles, hostile creatures live in the jungles. We don't actually see that in the movies, but apparently there is a lot of stuff that goes on Yavin 4. And also on Yavin 4, it has like ancient temples that look like something Mayans may have built maybe, or some like ancient civilization built. There's a background in Bust-a-Move too that actually looks like Yavin 4. I actually call it the Yavin 4 background for that reason. Because it looks a lot like Yavin 4. I might do an LP of Bust-a-Move 2 someday in the future. But I don't know, it's just Bust-a-Move. It's a game where you join colored bubbles together, and then they pop and you get scored for it, and you have to get through the game. I actually got through the PS1 version a few weeks ago. I have the ISO image of the PS1 version of that game. I was playing it on my Raspberry Pi. It works pretty good on my Raspberry Pi. But then again, my Raspberry Pi is very good at emulating PS1 games. I had trouble configuring BIOS first because it's PS1, it's disk-based emulation. You have a BIOS or disk-based emulation. Once I figured it out, it was pretty easy afterwards. I'll show you that. I'll show you how to do that in a video. So I'll make a video about RetroArch on the Raspberry Pi. Eventually, as part of my big YouTube comeback, which I guess you could say this is going to be making very many videos. I'm really busy in the last year, so I haven't been making as many YouTube videos lately, but that's going to change. I'm going to be making a lot of YouTube videos. I think expect my YouTube activity to skyrocket, to spark in the next little bit, because I can, because I have the time now, or so I think. I don't know if it's going to bite me back or not, but yeah, so you see here on Yavin, and I've pretty much dominated the center. Once you dominate the center, you pretty much dominate the battleground, pretty much. That's pretty much a basic principle of winning this game, is to get, the most amount of command posts, to get the most amount of troops. I keep saying that all the time. It's a basic fundamental. This game constantly rubs that formula into your face, pretty much. Because I said, this game doesn't have as much, doesn't have as much variety as the next game, which is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 also introduced space battles, which there are no space battles. You can fly ships in this game, but it's really more of a gimmicky thing. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose, other than you can fly ships in the game, or you can control pilot ships and destroy stuff, or take stuff down. That's pretty much how it is in this game. There aren't any actual space battles. It's kind of like in the original Rogue Squadron. The original Star Wars Rogue Squadron didn't have any space battles. It was just entirely air and space combat. sorry, not space combat, not space combat, it's just air combat, really, where you fly over a planet, or fly over some kind of celestial body like the Jade Moon, or even the Death Star in that bonus level. Which reminded me, I actually did a video of the bonus level in the original Rogue Squadron, where you're at the Death Star and you fly down the trench of the Death Star. I thought you wanted to do a video of that, but I think I did do a video of that, but for some reason I never uploaded it yet. I probably will like to upload that soon. I actually did record some videos a long time ago that for some reason never saw the light of day on YouTube. So yeah, I'd like to put those on there. I like to have the, the more the merrier. The more good videos you could have on your YouTube channel, the more views you're likely to get. The more views you're likely to get, the more likely you are to get monetized. And getting monetized is something I really want to do on YouTube. I really like getting monetized on YouTube. Because, that way I can make money, which is, a good living for a lot of people. Some people make a living off YouTube. It's really hard to do that these days, that YouTube has strict rules and guidelines about monetization, and so that's why a lot of people are turning to Daily Motion instead, because Daily Motion isn't as strict about stuff like that. I'm probably going to get flagged for saying that, I like Daily Motion, I use Daily Motion. No, I haven't used Daily Motion in a long time. I almost forgot that existed. And archive.org can't be monetized. You can't make money off archive.org. But I still upload stuff to archive.org anyways. Simply because it's the archive.org. Their whole plan, their whole mission statement is to back up web content and digital content and internet content so it doesn't get lost to the sands of time. I actually found a lot of emulator ROMs on archive.org. That's how archive.org is. They serve all kinds of stuff. There's mostly MAME stuff though, because I like to play the MAME ROMs, the arcade ROMs. They're the ones they're the MAME 2003 plus ROMs that can be played on my Raspberry Pi. So I can play the Star Wars arcade game on Raspberry Pi and play a lot of other classic arcade stuff on my Raspberry Pi. So right now it's like Saving Private Ryan. They keep constantly shooting stuff. Some of them even have green lasers too, which are more powerful than anything we have. And they have this yellow. I think those yellow lasers are probably pretty powerful too. And all we have is just this regular Stormtrooper blaster. I'm just running back, like hiding in the trench. This is World War I or something like that. We keep running back and forth. But we still have substantial margin over them, so I'm not going to be too concerned about losing. I know I'm going to win at this point. I could probably stop trying and I would win. But again, considering how smarter the AI is, their AI is compared to us overall, I probably would lose. Probably is still possible for them to win, oddly enough, but it probably still is possible for them to win. But, but knowing how it is or knowing how it goes, even if there's brightness made up for our team's stupidity. Because Mickey Mouse hires troops of the Empire, and this is long before Disney bought Star Wars. We always had Mickey Mouse hiring for him. That's probably why. This is probably foreshadowing of Disney buying out Star Wars far in the future. And so I believe this is the second, Stormer command post that they had. So yeah, they don't really have much left anymore. As you can see, we pretty much won here. I'm just going to wait for them to admit defeat, and then it's pretty much over. One of these blasters had more accuracy. Even Stormtrooper blasters in games always had poor accuracy. Even in that that Star Wars Dark Forces game, then you shoot the Stormtrooper blaster, it kind of like swerves it's just like a beam. Like it moves like back and forth, kind of like Rambo or something like that, where it goes like. It was in Star Wars Dark Forces, and it was like that. And newer Star Wars games still do it. The only good Star Wars game I know of where the Stormtrooper blasters are actually kind of accurate would probably be in the Lego Star Wars games, believe it or not. I actually did Let's Plays of this game some time ago, like Lego Star Wars 2 on the PC, and I did Lego Star Wars the video game on the PS2. It's only because I couldn't get the PC version, which is the best version of the game overall. So to get the next best thing, which was the PS2 version, and play on my PCSX2 emulator, which had some graphical corruptions that you may have noticed. And so we won this battle, which was really no surprise at all. And so, yeah, we pretty much conquered most of Yavin 4, get Public Enemy, yada yada yada, you know how it's always been. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.